Hello, welcome to Microlocity. In today's episode of the Diorama Challenge, we are going to be working on the window details of the diner slash restaurant car hop place, prepping for the front roof and prepping for the cement sidewalk, which I'm going to make out of some flour, water, and glue. But right now I'm cutting the braces that are actually going to be holding up the front roof, which is that clear Tupperware lid that I cut on the last video. And I was going to install these, but I realized that I wouldn't be able to do the detail in the windows very easy if I did. So you'll see we kind of start with this, then we jump to the windows. But now I'm just kind of filing the edges off so they're not so sharp, and I'm going to put all this stuff to the side for now, and we'll get to that probably next video. But you can kind of see roughly how it's going to look right there. I'm going to install the roof, and then I'm going to do the cement flower part. So I wasn't really sure how to do the windows. You'll see I kind of changed ideas partway through, but right now I put some electrical tape to kind of get my some straight edges, so I'm just kind of eyeing up where the windows are going to be, and I'm going to paint that center section. And right now I'm measuring for the door, so the door is roughly 3 foot wide, and I'm going to put some tape where the door goes, and then I'm going to cut out some of the pieces and remove them, and then I'm just going to paint all that center area black. And my idea was to I was going to paint it all black and then put some gray detail around and then pull the tape off, but I changed my mind, and so right now I'm pulling the tape off, and I was just going to paint with a paintbrush basically the outline of the windows. And we'll get to that in a second. So now I just got some kind of gray paint with some little bit of Metaflake in it, and I'm outlining the windows. But as I was working on it, it didn't look too bad, but it was kind of lacking some dimension. It didn't look that bad on camera, but in person I didn't like it at all. So as I was continuing painting, I was trying to come up with different ideas on how I can make it look better. Right there I'm just painting the corners, the rounded corners of the diorama, and I changed the camera angle a little bit later. Right now I'm measuring for the height of the door, which is just about 7 foot, and I'm putting what would be like a cross brace in there, and then I just right now I'm measuring for the actual windows, so just painting the upright parts, the frame. So this is the idea I came up with, to add a little bit of dimension to the windows. I was going to try to straighten out the wire that I got from the toaster oven, and so that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to pull it in between two pliers and just trying to straighten it as best I could. And I had just enough wire to do everything I wanted, so I pre-painted it the same silvery gray, and now I'm just kind of fitting and gluing it. So that's going to act as my new window frame. And the hot glue didn't hold very well to the stainless. I don't know if it was drying too quick, but I think I have to come up with a different way to start gluing stuff. I'm not too happy with how the I guess the messiness of the hot glue. It's hard to get get some clean glue lines and some of the smaller detail stuff like this. So I'm going to start experimenting with some different glues. If you have any recommendations, please comment, because I just want it to be a clear type glue and something that dries quick. So here's a little close-up of what it looks like. It's a little sloppy looking. I'm not too happy with how clean the lines are, but I go back and touch everything up, and it doesn't look too bad. But it does look better than just everything just painted. Adding the dimension helped a lot. So now I'm just going back with the silver gray paint and touching up all the frames. You can see there it's starting to get a little bit cleaner looking. This challenge is definitely hard with I keep coming up with ideas on how to do something, but then I realize that I can't just go out in my garage and find something. I'm trying to use everything that I have sitting here from the toaster oven, or just stuff in the kitchen, which really isn't a lot. As far as building stuff, I mean, I can use cardboard, but I'm trying to be a little bit more creative. So right now I'm just trying to paint up the windows, and by doing that it definitely helped a lot, but you can still see the gloopiness of the glue. I mean, I'm trying to be really careful and so you don't see the glue, but so I'm having a hard time with that. But overall I'm happy with how it turned out. So there's a kind of a close-up look of everything kind of touched up. I'm trying to think of more detail to add. I want to add some colors, and I'm just trying to come up with ideas. So I came up with the idea of using the extension cord and a lot of Route 66 type stuff. I mean, you think of neon, so that's kind of where I was going with this idea. If you notice, the cord has a line in the center. So I figured if I would paint one half a bright yellow and then the other half a bright red, it would kind of give the look of like a neon light that's going to wrap around the roof line of the building. The yellow I had to paint a few times. I wasn't really going for a solid look. I wanted a little of the black to come through, so I only gave it about 2 coats of each color. And while that was drying, right now I'm measuring out the sidewalk portion, and I'm going to make that out of a flour and water and glue mixture. So I'm going to try to make cement out of that and see how it works. I've never done it before, so hopefully it works okay. The center under the roof, there's going to be a wider sidewalk right where I'm marking now, and that's going to have, I'm thinking like 2 picnic tables. And so this is just the wood I'm using, I left over from the last diorama, and I'm using it just as a form, so I'm going to remove it. So I'm just marking everything to length. And I just wanted to show you a little bit how I cut. It's just a mini hacksaw with a fine blade, and it works pretty decent for cutting those little pieces. So before I was heating the glue gun back up. So as I was waiting, I decided to add a little detail to one of the windows. And I was just trying to come up with something that was you would see on a diner or a restaurant. And I think I'll paint a couple more windows, a couple of things in the like advertisement type things. I'll have to come up with something, but I like how this turned out. What I also find difficult doing this is trying to find a good camera angle where my hands aren't in the way, and also trying to get a comfortable position where I can paint detailed stuff. I'm kind of reaching across the table, and I would love to be a little bit closer, but with the camera sitting here, it's kind of hard to get around that. So I'm having a little bit of a challenge to mess with the camera as well. I got all touched up. I actually touched up too much. I have to go back with the white later on and fix the number 9. I put a little bit too much black paint on there. But I'm not going for perfect. I want to go like someone wrote that in the window. So now my neon strip is glued. Or dried. So I'm gluing that on the roof. And I like the detail, the color that added. And now I'm just gluing the forms that I made, gluing all that together. And then in the next video, I'll probably add a little bit more detail to the building, to the front, because it's going to be hard to do after I install this roof. Next video, so I'll glue the supports for the front roof in. We'll get the roof glued on, and I'll probably start working on the shingle part of the roof and clean up some detail stuff, and we'll get the flour cement mixture poured. And that's about it for this video. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And I hope you stick around and watch the next video. Thanks for watching.